You know I just heard something. I heard it on Spotify. I hear it on my YouTubes. I just wanna know why. I hear something new. Percussion Closet Podcast. PCP theme song in the style of Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
That was freaking awesome.
That was the great Parker Metters playing trumpet. It was me, Max Noss, again on guitar and vocals. Parker and I wrote this song in the past half an hour.
We're freaking amazing.
Gutted with the sauce, gutted.
We are gutted with the sauce.
So once again, we'll introduce all of our hosts. If you're a first-time listener, make sure to follow us on Spotify. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Official Percussion Podcast. I repeat, it is Official Percussion Podcast on you. No, I messed up. Official Percussion Closet Podcast on YouTube.com. Subscribe, like the video, and if you're a first-time listener, thank you for tuning in, and make sure to comment how you figured out about the podcast. So, once again, we'll introduce everybody, and we're going to introduce them in a different order because they're sitting in a different order than we did the first episode.
Darn it!
This is Aaron Rohde.
Hey, I'm Aaron Rohde.
This is Parker Metters.
Gazinga.
This is Brendan Sparks.
Hello there.
And I'm Max Noss. Together we are Percussion Closet Podcast. So we're going to get a few things straight. This is a family-friendly podcast, which we did not make aware whenever we did the episode with Aoife O'Driscoll. So,
We shame her.
Shame her. Shame.
She's an embarrassment to her family.
Okay, I would...
What?
Oopsie. Don't forget we're in a percussion closet.
Okay. So, topic for today. Cars. The funny thing is about this, nobody knows anything about cars.
This was requested by... I got a message from one of our fans on the second day that our first episode was out saying that we should talk about cars.
And I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, I agree, it's a good idea. The problem is, Aaron and I have no idea about cars. I mean,
me neither.
Parker and Max, you guys have you guys have some clue about them because you guys always talk about cars. I'm not saying you know how an engine works or anything like that, but you guys are always talking about cars.
Yeah, like, Hot Wheels. That's about it.
Well, my thing is, I know how, the car works. I don't know any of them.
So you two are polar opposites on what you know about cars.
Yeah, so you guys go together, and then Aaron and I kind of go together just because I know. Hey, all right.
Family friendly.
We make up a whole.
So, what kind of, topic of cars? We gonna go weird cars, fast cars, coolest cars?
Let's start with classic. Let's start with ugly cars.
Ugly cars. I have had multiple conversations with all three of you guys about ugly cars.
I got this.
So,
All right, start it off, Aaron. What you got?
Ugliest car. I hate on this car. For almost no reason, I just love hating on it. The Kia Soul.
Trash.
Okay.
On that car.
I feel like sometimes it gets a little too much hate. I get it. It's not a bad car, but it's just funny to hate on it. But I feel like sometimes it goes a bit far because I will say the gas mileage on it is actually very good.
I think the hate's too little. I think we need more of it.
I think we need more hate.
I think we need more hate on the Kia Soul.
Well,
I don't see enough videos on Instagram of Kia Souls.
Well, that's the same thing with a Prius. People make fun of Priuses, but they have insanely good gas mileage.
True. Okay. The Nissan Cube.
Ew.
Oh man.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
It's a Kia Soul, but on steroids.
Bro, the
God.
Nissan Cube, its tail lights are literally right above the tire. It is so bad.
Oh my gosh. And
Where are you
and for
gonna
our
put your mud flaps?
for our listeners, Brennan is pulling up a picture of this car to show to Aaron.
You're about to hear the groaning
see.
of gross. Just like that.
Maybe.
Possibly. We have to see this.
Nissan Cube.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
That's just the back of one. The front of one looks just as bad.
Oh, it's like a
Yeah.
You know what they transport the Pope in?
The
Pope-mobile?
unofficial Pope-mobile.
Pope Francis. It's like that. If the glass box they have them in was a car, that'd be it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair though.
I tend to agree with that.
Okay, what you got, Max? What is your
Okay.
ugliest car that you?
So, I wouldn't say it's the ugliest, though it's probably the one that you've probably heard me hate on the most. I will constantly dog on the PT Cruiser because it's just
Oh man,
it's an unattractive
Again?
car.
I think I need a picture.
you don't know what a PT Cruiser is?
I probably do, but
And the really bad Chevy copy of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chevy Cruiser. Or,
Yeah.
I don't even know what the official name is. That thing.
I call it
does not
I call it the PT Chevy.
yacht.
God, no way.
So, I constantly dog on this car, really for no reason, besides the fact that it's just not that good looking of a car. I mean, I get they're probably going for the retro vibe with it. Like, they're probably thinking, okay, we'll make it something like the Volkswagen Beetle, where it's kind of like the original models. They're so ugly, they're cute. But it just ends up being so ugly, they're ugly.
It
Yeah.
looks like a kid's first time like drawing a car.
Yeah,
It does.
Okay, I will say though, I think the one major downside to it, because I have ridden one before, is the window mechanism.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like the 4 controls being on the driver's side door panel and then each like passenger has one, they are located on the center console below the radio. All 4 controls.
Oh,
and then
why?
along with the back seat, both buttons are like in the middle. Where,
Why
like,
would
this
you ever do that? That's horrible.
compact. It's just meant to
Screw
be compact.
That's stupid.
Okay, well, it's still though. It was just meant to be compact and as lightweight as possible. So without having like the wider body to fit all the extra stuff on the door handles, kind of like a Jeep or a Jeep Wrangler, because those things have
Yeah.
really tiny like door handles on the back passenger sides.
Yeah.
Or some of the old Ford trucks that just don't have one.
Yes, yeah. My dad has one. It's a 60-something, like a white Ford truck, and there's literally no door handle. You have, or like no armrest for like a door handle. You have a door handle and a turning crank for the window. That is all there
Or the
is.
ones that you have to wait for the driver to get out to open your door.
Yes.
Yes, my dad had one of those. It was like
Yeah.
2006.
I got a truck that's just like that.
I hate those trucks, especially whenever like it's 3 like tall guys trying to ride in one of those trucks. You can have 2 people, in the front seats,
Yeah.
but as soon as someone sits in the back seats, you're like laying sideways, and it's the most uncomfortable
exactly,
thing.
exactly.
Very much so. Okay, so a lot of these cars are hated on, though they have decent gas mileage. A car that's the opposite way, it's embraced but has the worst gas mileage ever, is a Hummer.
Oh,
man.
like 3 miles per gallon. Ooh,
I like the Hummers. I like how they look, but the gas mileage is absolutely awful.
Or just a classic Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah,
Those things
1 mile per gallon.
They are
I swear.
they are less aerodynamic than a cow. I'm being dead serious when I say that they are less aerodynamic than a cow.
Can we
Yeah.
pull up the aerodynamic schematics of
not
the
gonna-
cow?
Okay. What do you think? It has too much love, but is just terrible for gas mileage.
Oh man. Oh, this is hard. I don't think I know this one. I'm just gonna say Hellcat.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I just
Those
don't
things,
like them.
like
they look
they're
good,
boats,
and
is all
everyone.
they are.
Yeah, everyone likes them, but oh my god. Okay, so for reference, our other person in the room right now, Sam, just pulled up the aerodynamics of a cow schematic. Oh my
It
God.
looks. If you don't know, just look it up.
If you don't know, look it up. We might put something in the link.
I might put something in the YouTube,
Maybe
Yeah.
something in the YouTube.
and that's why you need to subscribe.
Yeah, you need to subscribe.
Gotta plug.
Okay, so, Brennan, what is your opinion?
I think he already gave.
You give your opinion?
Yeah,
Maybe.
mine was.
I think it's only you.
The
man.
truck?
Oh
or the,
my
uh,
god,
the
that
Jeep
is
Wrangler.
actually.
Oh, the Jeep
horrible.
Wrangler, yeah. Alright, my turn.
All right, it's Parker's turn. Everybody
One
be
of
quiet.
the ugliest cars known to man is called the Plymouth Prowler.
Show me a picture.
Oh, not the Plymouth.
Oh, not the
Prowler.
Prowler.
What is that?
It is like a old. I don't know. They're trying to go hot rod style, but
It
it's
looks-
a 2001.
It looks
mean, so-
like a Hot Wheels.
Granted, a lot of the other Plymouths are actually pretty good looking.
It looks like a Hot
Yeah.
Wheels car. Like,
But,
A lot
like-
of the older Plymouths look actually fairly decent, but those I cannot do those. They
Yeah.
just look terrible.
Horrible. And I personally, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. Volkswagen Bugs or Beetles.
oh my god.
They're so
Depends on the
ugly.
year.
If you've
They
ever
look like a
ridden, have you ever gotten in a Beetle and then
They're
tried
cramped.
to get out? Are you?
Yes.
If you are above 6 foot and get in a Beetle, you are trapped.
I've been in.
That goes
one
for almost
person's
any
Beetle.
Volkswagen.
Yes.
Like
Volkswagen
the,
just makes tiny cars.
the Volkswagen GTI, it's a great car, and I'm saying this for specific reasons. I have basically a following that agrees with me. The Volkswagen GTI is an amazing car, one of the greatest cars on the planet for the price. It isn't the greatest looking, but it's not a bad looking car. Though it can, if you're over 6'5", it's not your car. Though
Yeah.
if you're Jeremy Clarkson, like 6'3", somehow he was able to survive in it and loved it.
Oh my god. Jeremy
Wow.
Clarkson, my personal hero.
All right, now we're gonna start with favorite cars and a car you want to eventually own in your life. And Aaron, you can go first.
Okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but I'm doing this mainly for the practicality and the joke. Because I need a car that fits me. Like, I don't care how cool this thing looks. It can look as stupid as I want it to. I could drive the Mystery Machine.
I want the
Mystery
The original car I wanted to go for was the Volkswagen van. You
The-
know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
bus.
Oh, like the
I
hipster
wanted to go
vans.
with that at first, but then I realized how impractical that would be to have just to replace
Well-
parts on it.
I mean, true, but I've seen like some vans that are similar to those.
Yeah.
They're like camper vans,
Yeah.
and they're like some of the best things that you can have.
Well,
The
like,
gas
yeah.
mileage is terrible,
Yeah.
just because
Yeah,
it's literally just a cube moving through the
Yeah.
road.
I
It's like
have
they're so cool.
I have some friends like they own one of the newer buses. They own one of the newer ones, and it's huge, but it's so practical.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's why I updated the plan and settled on a British flag Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Because you know how I've...
No.
Oh, it's such a good reference, and since this is a family-friendly channel, if you know, you know.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
Max.
Park. Oh, okay, I can go. So, I've always been a fan of a lot of the '60s Mustangs and the '60s undodged Challengers. I've always been a huge fan of those, and going with the '60s vibe, I like the Jaguar, specifically the British flag one from Austin Powers.
Yes.
I can't say the name of it on here, but
Oh, see, because that's where I got the inspiration for naming Brennan's car from.
oh really?
Yes, because I call his. You know what I call it.
Yeah, I know what you call it.
You know what I call it.
Okay, I think if I had to choose one though, I want to eventually one day just get my dad's truck because that was his high school car and he has kept it in pristine condition ever since he got it. But if I had to just pick a car that I don't like, that I might not get in the future, it would have to be Herbie the Love Bug. That
Oh
thing
my
is
gosh.
hilarious and I love it.
Okay, so what I would say is I'll be happy with any car. So if I get like a
True.
insanely modded Honda Civic, like twin turbo, that John's, as long as it's fast, I'll take it.
Okay, are you talking about like a new generation Honda Civic, like a Type R,
I
or
don't
do you
care.
want like a
What do you-
early 2000s
what-
where that thing is just like a sleeper build?
I want it to sound like just like that.
Would you take that Miata that I'm not going to say who drives it?
Oh,
No, he crashed it.
I know.
he sold
No,
it
he
and crashed
sold
his
it
Honda
and then
Civic.
and then
Oh,
crashed
no,
his
that's what it
new
was.
car.
I still cannot believe he did that though.
It was so funny because Ryan was in the car with him.
Really?
Yeah.
He has photos of the thing. Both of
It,
them,
it like flipped and they're all fine.
yeah, both of them are fine. Like
Well, because it was
The
an extremely
only
slow
thing
flip.
that
It
got-
literally just slid,
yeah, it
hit
literally-
the dirt, and just slowly rolled over.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like you could have sneezed in that time.
Oh.
It was like
Yeah. But so you got the Honda Civic or an old Chevy. Any Chevy that's old.
What
That's old is under 1970 unless you're a Chevelle. Then I'll take a 1970 Chevelle.
okay.
So
So So we need to wrap it up fairly soon. We are sorry to say, though. I'd like to ask, Brennan, would you be a kind enough person to tell us your story of the Kansas drive that you told Aaron, Parker, and I on Monday?
You have to the Kansas drive.
Well,
Like how dramatic you were about everything.
Tell us, you gotta recreate it perfectly.
Yeah,
without some
of the words.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was horrendous, absolutely disastrous, and completely and utterly terrible. It was supposed to be a 4.5-hour drive up to, what was the name? Something Kansas. And just because we left a little too late, it started like heavily snowing on us and like ice rain within like the first 2 hours, and we had to slow down to 45 miles an hour on a 70 miles an hour highway for the next 3.5 hours. It was the most excruciating ride that I have ever been on, besides just a long ride in general, and I hated it so much. And then even on the way back, the map was just being completely stupid and said, hey, take this road. It'll be 4.5 hours to get home. Yeah. And then it redirected us mid-route and made us take this side road that took an extra hour. And then it said, oh, hey, you don't want to go through the construction zone. Let me reroute it again. And it made us take another 30 minutes to get home. It was stupid.
Okay, so for those that might listen to this in the future, this was November 2023. This was whenever a really bad storm hit around Kansas, Oklahoma, and Colorado, and parts of New Mexico.
We live in Oklahoma near the northeastern.
Yeah. And so, interestingly enough, right as he was going into Kansas is whenever I was getting out of Kansas. And I left before the storm. Oh. He got there during and after. Oh. And it was I-70 was already frozen over by 2 a.m. that Saturday.
Yeah, we got really lucky though, because we got stuck behind. I mean, it's terrible for the car just because of how bad it makes it look, but we got lucky and we got stuck behind a salt truck. Oh, so for the last 30 minutes of the drive, we at least knew they were doing something on the roads that are in the middle of nowhere. So we didn't have to worry about slick roads or bridges on the way home. Yeah. But I will say the solid 5 inches of snow we got when we got to Kansas, that was more than we've had in Oklahoma in the past 5 years, and I loved it.
Well, you playing it or messing around?
Oh yeah, I played in it.
Yeah,
I made a snow fort. I used Tupperware containers.
Did you throw snowballs at your mom?
Not my mom. I do it at part of Craig's family. I nailed someone in the face with stuff.
Let them know who Craig is because they don't know.
So Craig is basically my stepdad. My mom and him are engaged, but they aren't married yet. So I just call him my stepdad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we need to end this episode.
I think that's the end.
Yep.
PCP.
How about we end it on a random, just 3, 2, 1. We all just scream.
Yeah.
Into the microphone,
Harmony,
and then we end it.
Okay.
All right, ready?
For me.
3, 2, 1. Ah!